justice, you rulers, and seek the Lord's light. Think of him with goodness and do what is right. For he is found by those who do not put him to the test, and shows himself to those whose faith has stood the quest. Wisdom is a spirit that is kindly and is wise. She hears every word and she sees through all disguise. The world is filled with God, and the things that people say are known by the Spirit in a deep and holy way. The wicked speak in error, they say that life is short. Let us feast and drink and make pleasure our resort. Our life is like a shadow or a cloud that passes by. Let us crown ourselves with roses before we have to die. They lie in wait for righteous men who walk a narrow path. They mock the quiet spirit and they stir up holy wrath. They say if he is God's son, let the Lord come save his soul. But they do not see the mystery or the Father's grand control. The souls of the righteous are in the hand of God, though they suffered on the earth and they felt the heavy rod. In the eyes of the foolish they seem to fade and die, but they are in peace now beyond the starry sky. Having been disciplined, they find a great reward, tested just like gold in the furnace of the Lord. They will shine like sparks that run through the field of grain, to judge the mighty nations and to forever reign. But the wicked have no hope when the end is drawing near. Their labors are in vain and their lives are filled with fear. The memory will vanish like a footprint in the sand when they stand before the judge and the power of his hand. Wisdom is more radiant than the sun up in the sky. She reaches out with power and she hears the humble cry. She is a breath of God's own might, a pure and holy stream, the brightness of the light and the glory of the beam. Solomon, the king, sought her out to be his bride, to have her as his counselor and walking by his side. For though he was a ruler with a kingdom and a throne, he knew he could not govern by his human strength alone. He prayed, "O God of fathers, who made all things that be, send down your holy wisdom from the heavens unto me. For she knows all your works and she understands your ways, to guide me in my actions and to lengthen all my days." By wisdom all the ancient ones were saved from every snare. From Adam to the prophets they were kept within her care. She led the holy people through the waters of the sea, and brought them out of Egypt to a land where they were free. She was a pillar for the light and a shelter from the heat, a path across the desert for their weary-tired feet. But those who turned away from her and chose the path of pride found only bitter darkness where the lonely spirits hide. The folly of the idols is a vain and foolish thing, to bow before a piece of wood and songs of worship sing. The man who carved the image used the leftovers for fire, to think it as a spirit is fragile and that we are only dust. To know Him is the root of life and immortality, the source of every blessing and the truth that sets us free. So seek the path of wisdom while the light is in the room. She will lead you past the shadows and the silence of the tomb. She is better than the jewels or the silver or the gold, the greatest of the treasures that a human heart can hold. Glory to the Father and the Spirit and the Son, for the wisdom of the ages and the victory He won. Let the lyrics of the song be a prayer of pure intent, to live the holy life for which every soul